What's going on, CK Nation? It's your boy, the Boss Man CK. And today on Throttle School, we're talking about something that every driver, crew member, and race fan should know about. And that is the most important thing that is at the track. And it's called the safer barriers. You've probably seen them at racetracks. They are those large, bright colored barriers positioned between the racing surface and the outside wall. But what exactly are they? And why are they there? And what does safer actually stand for? Well, we're going to learn all that today, and we're going to continue to become better NASCAR fans and enjoy watching and learning more and more so we can enjoy more and more each weekend as we root our drivers on and become better race fans. So remember, we're all gas, no brakes, full throttle for Kyle, and class is now in session. Okay, first things first. What does the safer and safer barrier stand for? Well, safer and safer barrier stands for steel and foam energy reduction. That name tells us a lot about what the barrier is designed to do. A safer barrier is a type of energy absorbing barrier system developed to reduce the forces transferred to a race car and its driver during a crash. The basic idea is simple. When a car hits a traditional rigid wall, the wall doesn't move very much. A tremendous amount of the car's energy has to be dealt with very quickly. A safer barrier is designed to absorb and manage some of that energy. So think of it like the difference between running into a concrete wall and running into something designed to compress and slow you down. Neither one is something you want to hit, but one is specifically engineered to help reduce the severity of the impact. So why is energy such a big deal? Because when a race car is moving at high speed, it has a huge amount of kinetic energy. And when the car suddenly stops, the energy has to go somewhere. The goal of modern racing safety isn't simply to prevent a crash, because crashes are going to happen. The goal is to manage the forces involved in that crash and give the driver and the car and the safer systems the best possible chance of doing their jobs. That's where energy absorption comes in. A safer barrier can deform during the impact and help absorb energy and increase the amount of time over which the car slows down. And that matters because, generally speaking, slowing a vehicle down over a slightly longer distance and time can reduce the peak forces involved compared with an extreme abrupt stop. But remember, again, safer barriers don't make crashes safe. They are one part of a much larger safety system. So, what is actually behind the safer barrier? Safer barrier systems use a combination of steel tubes and energy absorbing foam blocks. The steel structure provides strength and helps distribute the impact. The foam is designed to compress and absorb energy. When the car hits the barrier, the system is able to move and deform rather than acting like one completely rigid surface. That's important because the barrier is designed to work with the car's safety systems, not against them. The car itself is engineered to absorb crash energy. The driver is protected by things like the seat, restraints, helmets, head and neck restraints, the roll cage, and the chassis structure, and other safety equipment. But the track has its own safety system, too. And that is a safer barrier, and it's another layer in that protection. That is an important lesson. Racing safety isn't one piece of equipment, it's a whole system. You'll commonly see these safer barriers installed along areas where a high-speed impact with a wall is possible, like in turns, sometimes on straightaways. They can include sections of oval tracks, road courses, and other racing facilities. They're especially important around high speed corners and along outside walls where cars could potentially leave the racing surface. Track designers and safety officials consider things like speed, racing lines, impact angles, and the surrounding environment when determining how safer barriers should be used. And that's why you might see different combinations of walls, safer barriers, tire barriers, catch fences, gravel traps, paved runoffs, and other safety features around the racetrack. Everything has a job. Now, here's something really important. A safer barrier doesn't mean a driver can't hit the wall at any speed and walk away without injuries. That's not how it works. And we've seen that at Michigan when Seabell hit the safer barrier. He still fractured his wrist. See, the barrier can reduce impact forces, but it cannot eliminate them. Crash severity depends on a lot of factors: speed, impact angle, the direction of the car, how much energy the car has, and the condition of the vehicle. And of course, the safety equipment being used by the driver. That's why drivers still need to respect the track, follow the racing rules, and understand that every lap carries a risk. Safety technology doesn't remove the danger of motorsports, it just helps manage that danger. So, let's review what we've learned today. Safer barriers. The word safer stands for, again, steel and foam energy reduction. Safer barriers are designed to absorb and manage crash energy. They can help reduce the forces experienced during certain impacts. And most importantly, they are part of a much bigger approach to motorsport safety. From the car's chassis and restraint systems to the driver's helmet and head and neck restraint to the racetrack itself, modern racing safety is built around layers of protection, and every layer matters. Because in motorsports, we're not just trying to make the racing faster, we're working to make sure drivers have the best possible protection when something goes wrong. So, again, as we wrap up class, like I said, we've learned about the safer barriers and what they do and what they don't do and how it helps. And we learned another important piece of how NASCAR has gotten better and advanced in the safety. So again, guys, like always, if you like what you're seeing, continue to like and subscribe to the channel, and I thank you guys so much for it. So, like I said, today we've learned that safer isn't just a name, it's an engineering concept designed to help reduce the energy involved in a crash. So the next time you watch a race and you see those barriers lining the track, remember, they're just not sitting there. They're a part of safety system working behind the scenes. So, with that being said, I'm the boss man, CK. We're all gas, no brakes, full throttle for Kyle, and class is now dismissed.